Welcome to TW Sports Talk. I got Wayne Kircher joining me from, the Great Wrestling Debate. If you tune into that on this channel, um, we're talking quarterbacks, the top 10 quarterbacks of the 2013 NFL
Yeah,
season.
we're pretty much doing what Ron Jaworski does on
Right?
ESPN.
Yeah.
Actually, they just wrapped that up with his was it top 50?
Top. I think he did the top 32
Okay,
quarterback.
okay,
I
yeah,
guess.
okay.
Yeah. Although it's funny because you wonder if like a backup could overtake somebody's starting
He
quarterback if they have no depth.
Well,
Depending on.
that's what I'm saying.
But yeah,
I mean that's why I thought it was top 50 because I think last year he had Tim Tebow on his
yeah,
list,
yeah,
and Tim Tebow played not one snap pretty
right,
much
yeah.
with the
But
Jets.
yeah, but we'll trim it down and we'll go top 10
So top
just to be
quarterbacks
interesting.
this season pretty much. So Tyler, do you have well, I was this is
Well,
my
let's
list
go with
here.
your list, and then and then
Okay,
as we go,
okay.
after you go,
Number 10. I'm gonna go Andrew Luck. I like this kid. Like I said, I thought he had a very impressive rookie season. I'd say more impressive than RG3 and Russell Wilson.
right,
It's because of what he had to work with. I mean, and where the Colts were a year ago compared to where they were
yeah,
last year. I actually like him better. I actually like him better this year. I think he's improved over the off season.
yeah,
I think the Colts are going to be a better team, and I don't see him winning the division, but I think they can make a wild card.
again, yep, like
So
last year they were.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Andrew Luck's got some great talent around him. Uh, like I said, that's number 10. Number 9, I got Andy Dalton from the Cincinnati
Dalton.
Bengals. I mean, he's made the playoffs the last 2 years. They got knocked out both by the Texans though.
Right, both years.
Both years.
Ironically.
But like I said, I think he's turned that franchise around. I know, and to me, I think it feels like he has Flacco syndrome sometimes during the
Yeah.
season. He sometimes it gets inconsistent, but I think overall he does what he needs to do to win games. I think the Bengals this year, what the hell? I think they could maybe make a run at the playoffs again. I you know I, Obviously they're in a tough division with
Yeah,
the Steelers.
I think
And
yeah. I think the division might turn out similar that division than it did last year.
yeah,
So I could see the Bengals, getting in the playoffs again.
yeah.
But I don't know if
Eh.
again. I mean, maybe a 10-win team again. I don't know.
But
Depends how their
I'd probably
defense.
go 9 more than 10.
Maybe
But
I'm not sure. That might have been what their record was last year too.
yeah.
I'm not totally sure.
Number 8, Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, this guy, like I said, he's won 2 Super Bowls in his
Yeah,
career already. Last year, he got hurt, so
yeah,
which I think really killed the Steelers' chance to make the playoffs pretty much. But if he can stay healthy this year, I think the Steelers can definitely make a run at the division again.
maybe.
I mean, let's think about
I don't
Ben
know.
Roethlisberger here. I mean, he can be so great
Yeah,
if he can stay healthy. And for the past few years, it feels like he keeps getting hurt. And like I say, he's a big guy, so when he gets hit, takes a lot of low hits. It's not good on his knees or anything.
yeah.
So, I mean, but no, I definitely like Ben Roethlisberger at number 8. Like I said, if he can stay healthy, consistent, Steelers win the division. I'll make that prediction.
Possibly.
I think they can definitely beat the Browns. They
Tough.
can beat the Bengals. They can beat the Ravens.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know last year they did pretty bad against the Ravens, but at the same time, Big Ben was out, and I think if Big Ben can stay healthy this year, the Steelers can definitely make a strong playoff run. Not Super Bowl, but definitely can make the run to the playoffs. Number 7, defending Super Bowl champion and MVP, Joe
Joe
Flacco.
Flacco.
For me, I think last year he buried the Fluco. We used to call him Joe
Yep.
Fluco because he so inconsistent. How I think at one point he had a quarterback rating of like 46 or, I mean it was Tim Tebow numbers for crying out loud. But no, I think Joe Flacco winning it. He's got that monkey off his back. He's won it. Obviously now he's got a big paycheck coming
Right.
in now this season.
Yep.
So he better back keep playing well because he's got a lot of more money coming in. But yeah, no, I think Joe Flacco, if he can stay like once again consistent in a regular season, because I think once he gets to the playoffs, he's unstoppable pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he threw not one interception last preseason. I don't think it's gonna be that good this year, but I think if he can do well, I know they lost a lot of guys. I mean, Ray Lewis and Anquan Bolden and all that,
Yeah.
but I think Flacco's good enough that he can work with any talent around him pretty much. And like I said, probably will, the only competition will probably be the Steelers and maybe the Bengals pretty much in the division. So I think I said good enough they can make it to the playoffs. Maybe they can head back to the Super Bowl. Maybe. But there's somebody maybe down the list I think could maybe beat these guys in the playoffs this year. Maybe. Number 6, Eli Manning. Obviously, a disappointing year for the Giants last year, and this year a lot of question marks still for New York. But and Eli Manning once again, it's weird. He's won 2 Super Bowls. When he's good, he's good. I dare say he's better than Peyton. But man, when he is bad, he is bad.
Right.
And once again, for a while he almost had Joe Flacco syndrome. But now, but I really do think Eli Manning, if like I said, this year I know that everybody's got the Redskins right now, but I think right now I got to put the Giants maybe number 2. I know Cowboy fans are going to be pissed off and saying, well, this is an Eagles fan here. And of course, it's like, no, right now I got the Eagles. First of all, right now the Eagles in 4th place around the AFC.
Yeah.
I really do not see us making the playoffs this year.
But not a bad 4th place.
No.
At least.
I see us getting. I see us getting
another 4-12.
I think we can get 6 wins. I think we can get 6 wins.
6 or 7.
Schedule.
Yeah.
6 or
7 at best.
7 at
I
best.
wouldn't
6.
Go over.
I think 6 is a pretty good number.
There's a lot of moving parts.
I mean, I would go Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Redskins, but I really do think the Giants are the top contender.
It could be close, yeah.
I just don't. I mean, I'd say I don't have Tony Romo on here.
Right.
Tony Romo top 15, but not top 10.
And I wouldn't either.
He's got to win the playoffs first. He's his thing there now.
Make the playoffs.
People used to say have Joe Flacco up here. Honestly, now I think if you're a bad quarterback, you're pulling at Tony Romo because talk about inconsistency and talk about a guy that can't win the big one. That's Tony Romo, and he also signed a big new deal, so he's got to back it up this year too. But I said number 6, Eli Manning. I think that if he plays well, Giants division champions or at worst wild card and to make the playoffs then. Number 5, Matt Ryan. Matty Ice. I mean, what can you say about this guy? He turned the Falcons around at one of the worst times for the franchise. The whole Michael Vick debacle, Bobby Petrino.
Yeah.
Going to Arkansas. He came in here and he turned it around. He became a team leader, a team captain, and I think of this talent. I mean, last year they were close to make it to the Super Bowl finally and turning this whole, dirty bird around for the Falcons. But I think, like you said, he's been playing very well. I think he has another great season. He has a lot of great wide receivers around him.
Yeah, he does.
I think the problem this year is the Saints are going to be better. I think the Saints are going to be better than they were last year because now they have Sean Payton back as head coach. I think Drew Brees is a lot more talented than we're going. I think all their defensive guys are back too. So I think besides the Saints, I think they should be able to beat the Bucks and the Panthers. And like I said, once again, can probably win the division.
Yeah.
If it's worse, they could probably make a wild card run maybe.
Yeah.
At the same time,
they should be back in the playoffs.
A lot of people look at the Seahawks and the 49ers as both making it in also. So obviously that only leaves one wild card spot left, and I already said the Giants might get that. But like I said, I think if they are, I think at this point the Falcons can't make any more excuses. They have a lot of talent on this team.
Yeah.
To me, I think they almost. And to me, last year they blew their chance of going to the Super Bowl. But I think if Matt Ryan and that defense can keep points off the board, I think the Falcons could definitely make it to the Super Bowl maybe this year. Number 4 though, Drew Brees, because once again this guy, despite all the chaos last year, still had impressive numbers. I think this year they can definitely challenge for the division title. And once again, it's Sean Payton's back. The whole chaos from last year is gone. Hopefully they can. I think they can definitely turn it around. And once again, division champion, and maybe one of the Super Bowl maybe. I think once again the problem is that defense though. But I think this team, what they have on offense, can definitely score points. Sometimes it's all you need to do is score more than the other team. So number 4, Drew Brees. Number 3, Peyton Manning. At this point, I'm gonna just say it: the Denver Broncos is gonna win the AFC West. I don't care. I mean, at this point, the Raiders are still rebuilding. Yeah. In fact, I don't even know who the hell their quarterback is at this moment. No, Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn just been named their starting quarterback. We'll see though. The preseason could change a lot of that, but I don't see Matt Flynn beating Peyton Manning. I don't see Phillip Rivers because I think the Chargers lost a lot of people on that team. And I don't care if Andy Reid's back. I don't care if they got Alex Smith at quarterback. I don't care how much talent they claim they have in Kansas City. Yeah. I might give Kansas City second place in the AFC West, but they're not going to come close to Denver.
Right. Yeah.
And to me, if it wasn't for a bad defensive play, the Denver Broncos would be playing in the Super Bowl last year against the 49ers, and Peyton Manning might finally have won his second Super Bowl title.
Yeah.
And considering when he came from, that nasty neck injury, I think he's still one of the best elite quarterbacks. That's why he's number 3 on my board. And like I said, this year, AFC West champion, probably a Super Bowl favorite.
Probably first round bye. Yeah.
Yeah, first round bye probably again. Hopefully this time they can capitalize for that,
Maybe.
up in that atmosphere in
That'd
Denver.
be interesting.
Well, besides that too, I think right now they are the favorites. I think Vegas hasn't been the top team right now.
Probably, yeah. It wouldn't.
And obviously the
definitely
Patriots
wouldn't
stock
surprise
drop with Hernandez being gone and
Right.
losing all those receivers,
Gronkowski,
and
yeah.
the Seahawks and 49ers have gone for the injury bug. So the Broncos are the favorites right now. So Peyton Manning has a lot to live up to this year, but I think he can get the job done. I think he can't get it when the big one a second time will go away. And I think he could win his second Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Number 2, Tom Brady. I know people are gonna say this. I mean, wait, he has almost nobody back pretty much. I mean,
yeah.
Who cares? He's Tom Brady. He's done it once before. He'll probably do it again. I saw Miami. I was not impressed. I know we barely saw their starters though. There was actually a lot of starters resting in that preseason game, but Ryan Tannehill, when he was out there, did not impress me. Period. And you go on the list. It's not gonna be the Jets. That chaos up there in New York, not gonna happen. Get the job done. Buffalo, I still don't know what Buffalo's going through right now. They don't even have a starting quarterback picked out yet. It's either gonna be Kevin Cobb or E.J. Manuel. Doesn't matter. New England's gonna win probably the AFC East again, and I think Tom Brady can not maybe make it to the Super Bowl, but I think could maybe make him take it to the AFC Championship game. Maybe. I think the Patriots might shock somebody that bad this year. Because I know everybody keeps saying they're out, but every time we keep saying that, Tom Brady comes through because he's that damn good.
Yeah.
So that's why Brady's number 2. And number 1, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, come on. The numbers, the one ring. I mean, I know last year they got destroyed by the 49ers, but for me, that's their defense. And I know right now they have offensive line problems.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
This guy is good. The Packers are probably going to beat the Bears, the Vikings, and the Lions. They're probably going to win the NFC North again. They're probably going to win the division.
They're
probably going to win it, and they're probably going to make it to the division playoffs. I don't know about a Super Bowl run this year because, like I said, they got the 49ers and the Seahawks and that defense. But still, Aaron Rodgers is going to once again throw up Hall of Fame numbers and Pro Bowl numbers. So that's why Aaron Rodgers is number 1 quarterback this year.
For you.
For me.
For your list.
So Tyler,
I'll take
your top 10.
So basically I'll take it from, I'll pick up where you left off and then go just to make it easy.
Okay.
Obviously I would have Aaron Rodgers at number 1.
Yeah.
The guy throws like 5 or 6 interceptions a season.
Yeah.
Which to me is a big stat, interceptions.
Yeah. He doesn't turn the ball over.
Right. Because that could, the interceptions can often be the difference between a touchdown for 7 points for you or 7 points to the other team. So, and I mean, the guy puts up.
And not to mention, I should put this up to you. For me, he's better than Brett Favre.
Yeah.
And to me, I think he deserves to win one more Super Bowl than Brett Favre did.
And a lot of that has to do with interceptions.
Yeah, exactly. Brett Favre was a slinger.
I think the past couple seasons, I'm not sure, but Rodgers may have had the best QBR.
Oh.
And a lot of that has to do with few interceptions and touchdowns.
The guy's a beast.
So yeah. And Brady and Manning, Peyton Manning would be 2. Obviously, they'd be 2 and 3. It's really close though because Brady did lose like all his weapons this year,
which is why I said
which does give
if he does well this year, his legacy just grows 10 times more.
I think like year after, I think Brady is a slightly better quarterback when it comes up to the whole conversation between who's better, Brady or Manning.
Yeah.
And part of that has to do with Brady tends to throw fewer interceptions. Yeah. So decision making there. But yeah, Peyton Manning with Wes Welker and his team, who's I think the past 2 seasons he's been when you combine the past 2 seasons, he's had the most receptions, and that does make it interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean with Brady's decision making, he makes guys around him better.
Exactly.
And Peyton Manning, he through the years he's had Marvin Harrison, he's had Reggie Wayne with the Colts.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
And how many playoff wins did he get? Only one Super Bowl out of that talent. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
which is why
I think they had a good tight end
Yeah.
most of the time, and so yeah,
Dallas Clark, good old
Dallas Clark, yeah, that's right, and so yeah,
I mean, and how he made Eric Decker look great too, Peyton Manning.
yeah,
I mean, Eric Decker. I mean, you even saw this guy in college. He wasn't the best wide receiver. I mean, he played for Minnesota, Tyler, for crying
Yeah.
out loud. But no, I mean, he made Eric Decker look like a superstar. Thomas, is that the other guy too that I think plays for the Broncos still? Demaryius Thomas,
yeah.
right?
yeah, I think
Manning's made him look like $1 million too.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, Eli Man or I keep wanting to say Eli. Peyton Manning's going to put up some. Obviously, he can put up a lot of yards.
Well, he always puts up better numbers than. I mean, if you're going to
Yeah.
ask that question, like who would you take the Payne or Eli? And I'd say I take Payton in the regular season, but Eli in the playoffs.
Yeah,
And the stats
that's
just
true.
prove it.
The
Eli
stats do
Eli is
yeah.
way better, more clutch in the
And the
playoffs.
thing is, yeah,
which is why he's
Peyton
one more
Manning-
Super Bowl ring than Peyton.
Peyton Manning's been in the playoffs like more than Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Like half the time, half the seasons, I don't even think Eli Manning has made the playoffs.
Because he's just
But
so
when he
inconsistent in the
does,
regular season
yeah.
sometimes. He's good, and he has his
But,
highs and his
yeah.
lows. And
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely close between Brady and Manning to me because Manning has the weapons advantage.
yeah.
But again, Manning will probably throw some interceptions, and but going to number 4. A lot of people, some people find this crazy, but Joe Flacco I put at number 4,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
and to me it's a sliding scale when it comes to quarterbacks. He's coming off of one of the most impressive playoff runs ever.
He tied Joe Montana
He threw. Think about it though. He threw 11 touchdowns
and 0
in
interceptions.
0 interceptions.
Which
Think
is
about it.
Which he tied with.
Had he thrown,
yeah.
had he thrown one, if he had gone, thrown one interception like in the Broncos game or in the Super Bowl,
Over.
it's
over.
They wouldn't have won. Yeah, think about that. Like he had to be that good.
Not to mention, he played lights out against.
Yeah.
He outplayed Tom
People,
Brady.
right?
When
Yeah,
everybody
and
said-
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
He beat that. So yeah, and people want to say like, oh, they have this defense, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. Yeah, those guys are.
First of all, Ray Lewis was just there.
They're getting up.
He,
Yeah, they're
he
getting
was
up
there
there
for
in age.
motivate. He was there,
Yeah.
there to be inspiration.
Like he's still.
He
Ray Lewis
played.
is, yeah.
Ray Lewis played horrible in the Super
Lewis
Bowl.
is
Let's
yeah.
get that true. He missed a lot of easy tackles he
Yeah.
used to make back in his prime.
I mean, he's still good, and he's still he still was good. Now that he's retired.
yeah, he's an
obviously.
analyst now. Which
But
God help us all, Ray
but,
Lewis
yeah.
is an NFL analyst.
but if the defense was so great and helped him in that playoff
Yeah.
run, then why is it that they almost lost when Joe Flacco was had a playoff run where he had 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions?
Yeah, exactly. Amazing.
So yeah, to me it's a sliding scale when I think about that, and that's why
Well, like I
the
said,
way he finished the season.
Like I said, he's lost some people on that team that
Yeah,
wasn't playing the Super
he
Bowl.
still has
and,
Torrey Smith.
yeah.
Unfortunately, they lost their tight end, but
I mean, well, yeah.
Again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that might hurt
Yeah.
him this year, too. But, and like I said, if Roethlisberger comes back, I think the Steelers can really compete with them
could
better this
compete.
year. And if
Yeah.
Andy Dalton has a better season, the Bengals got to throw in there,
Yeah.
too. Some people keep throwing in the Cleveland Browns all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Too. To me, nah.
the
they,
Ravens, yeah.
they still need a few more talent in there if
Yeah.
they're going to be a playoff team again.
But the Ravens, of course, they do have a good running game with Ray Rice, obviously.
if he can
So
keep
if he can,
hang on to the football and not fumble it, maybe.
so
But, yeah.
but yeah, I mean, so
Like I said,
That does give him
he signed a
advantage,
new, he signed a top contract now, so he better bring at least one more title home to
Yeah.
Baltimore. So okay, well,
So, yeah.
that shocked me a bit, but
yeah,
Yeah, I
and,
can see
and
where
like
you're
I
coming
said, it's something I talked about it with Mike Missinelli in the past.
how you doing, man?
yeah,
And like he said, it's like a sliding scale.
pretty much.
And it's not entirely about what guys did the past 10 years, etc. So, but yeah, then that would put I wouldn't have Breeze any lower than 5.
yeah.
People would call that crazy if you had him any lower than 5. I think again, he
The
puts,
numbers.
breaks breaking records in all.
I just,
Throws a little more interceptions. That's
Yeah.
part
But
part of what I
but that's-
factor into it.
but that's the offense. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
the Saints, they're known for passing it. They like the
Yeah.
Sean
Pass
Payne. He
heavy.
wants to score as many points. I mean, it's almost like
Yeah.
the Packers really because they know their defense isn't that good. It's not great. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
really that bad, but it's not great.
Yeah.
So I mean, but no, yeah. I mean, I think it would be crazy not to have Breeze, not at least in the top 5.
I think Jaworski had him at 6, and a lot of people were like, oh, you can't have him. You gotta have him higher at 6. Yeah.
Fine, Jaworski.
And then I think when he had him at 4, people thought he was crazy too.
Oh my God.
Or when they had Flacco at 4, I mean.
Yeah. Oh.
So, but yeah, Flacco. A lot of people, Flacco's just not over. But and then so
6,
5. That was my top 5.
Yeah.
6. I would have to go Matt Ryan coming off of that. And again, he has all these weapons.
Julio Jones,
the seemingly ageless Tony Gonzalez, who's decided to come back for the season.
You know what? And that's kind of why I kind of feel like I really want him to win it, because Tony Gonzalez, the greatest, I'm just saying, the greatest tight end in the history of the NFL. He's a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. He needs 1 Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
The guy's been a great leader, a great motivator, a great player, and he's made the tight end position matter more than it ever has. So I know everybody's got Seattle and San Francisco, and how I even have San Francisco kind of going back to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Understandably so.
I mean, but for sympathetic reasons, I got to go with I really want the Falcons to do it this year.
Yeah.
But once again, it comes down to Matt Ryan. It comes down to that defense.
Roddy White. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're obviously loaded on offense,
but it's that defense.
Yeah.
That's
for
me. That's what killed him.
Yeah.
That too, Matt Ryan kind of choked in the second half against the 49ers, but I really think they have the talent. Yeah. They can get this job done, but they got to get over that hump.
Yeah. So then behind Ryan, which would be number 7, Eli Manning. Now the thing is, they could get in the playoffs, any given year, it seems, because with the way the division is now.
Could be. Yeah.
Last year, they almost could have made it in the playoffs, and then who knows what they do, because Eli Manning's good in the playoffs.
A different person in the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Seemingly.
He could have such a horrible regular season, and all of a sudden in the playoffs, he's this elite quarterback. Yeah. I mean, just like I said, which is why I think he could win maybe 1 or 2 more Super Bowls with the Giants. Maybe. Yeah. I don't think this year.
Yeah, especially I don't think so either.
Except the Falcons, the
teams,
Seahawks, the Niners.
I don't see.
But I think they are good enough to maybe win the NFC East. Maybe.
Yeah, it'll
it all depends how RG3 is. I mean,
it'll definitely be close. And then the thing is, with Eli Manning, he's very clutch in the fourth quarter.
Oh, definitely.
He has a lot of comebacks. Fourth quarter.
And some
comebacks.
of that, as an Eagles fan, was done at our
expense.
Yes,
it was.
Which is why, I mean, that's the thing about Eagles fans. I like Eli Manning, but man, I hate him sometimes because he plays in the NFC East, and being an Eagles fan.
But where was that fourth quarter clutch play in the Miracle at the Meadowlands?
Oh my God, I watched I watched that live.
That was.
I rubbed it in the face of all my New York Giants buddies at college, pretty much. I literally go on Facebook going, Eagles win, Eagles win.
Yeah. I remember.
I even remember watching the punt return. I'm like, Jack's gonna take it back.
I remember listening to that on the radio because I was at a Christmas party, family Christmas party.
Oh, it was better live.
Yeah,
I started yelling and screaming. My dad's like, "What the hell's going on?" Like, the Eagles just made the most amazing comeback.
I remember listening on the radio outside. Yeah, we were checking on the game, and it's like, we were listening to the very end, and it's like, wait, they won because they were. Like a few minutes earlier, I was like, "Oh my phone!"
I don't care.
It's like, "Oh, dude,
I don't care what Michael Vick does this year. That would go on as his greatest win he ever did as a quarterback, because he stayed composed no matter how bad behind. He made some key passes. I mean, to me, it's already his greatest game as a quarterback.
He showed a lot of composure, and that's like, that's also something like I'm seeing in guys
this
like
wasn't even in Philadelphia. This was in New York, so it was a hostile crowd too, which was dead silent when it was over. By the way,
yeah.
Oh my God! And then, the coach yelling at the punter.
Yeah.
Who would have thought the punter could take that much abuse in the NFL?
Yep.
But oh my God, it was.
Yeah.
To me, it's one of the best Eagles games I've ever watched, and it's easily going to be, no matter what Vic does this year, it's the best game he ever played as a quarterback. Yeah. And I'm even including that one game that they did down in Atlanta, where he ran between those two defenders and they ran into each other. Because I'd be looking at that as like one of his best games. No, I this because of the fact that they were behind by how much. Everybody thought they were out.
Yeah.
Bill Fike was making fun of me, saying, "Oh, this is it, Wayne. You're gonna lose the division title, and your season's gonna go. You're not even gonna make the playoffs." And Afterwards, I'm like, hey, Bill, look at the scoreboard, Bill. Look at the
Bill
scoreboard.
Fike, yeah, Bill Fike, by the way, is a Cowboys fan. Just so you know,
He hates me right now.
Just so you can idea what we're talking about.
I told him Jerry Jones has to quit his job. He's like, Jerry Jones is
Yeah.
what's keeping this franchise together. And I'm like, really? How many Super Bowls have you won in the last years? Can you even call yourself the America's team anymore?
Yeah.
They only won 2 playoff games in the last 17 years, Tyler.
And,
How can you call yourself America's team now?
Yeah.
That stat.
And with that game, unfortunately, that was like Michael Vick's last like great game.
Oh.
As I remember heading in.
I thought it was okay against the Packers at a point, but
Yeah.
There was a time when I thought he was going to
Unfortunately.
pull it off again. They thought we were going
Right.
to win that game, but then
Yeah.
he had to force it to get into Riley Cooper, and he even you could tell when he threw it. He says, "Why did they throw that? I could have just threw it out of bounds, ran out. I mean, just went down maybe.
Yeah.
Because I think it was only like first. I think it was first down or second down when he threw that.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of time on the clock.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, I thought that he was going to pull it on the Meadowlands maybe there,
Yeah.
but that kind of. I think that moment just made him start to go back to his old style ways in that as far as quarterback. But
Yeah.
so let's see.
Seven
was Eli, yeah.
Had Eli at 7.
So number 8. Yeah,
8. Let me see.
You got everybody on here
I
except
have-
for these guys, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now you don't need to have these
8.
guys. You could have somebody else. In
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm. 8, I would have Andrew Luck because like I said, the way the Colts were like a mediocre team in the beginning of last year.
Oh my god.
And but then the way they rallied around the whole Chuck Pagano thing.
Oh
and
yeah.
Andrew Luck definitely showed improvement. Like his
definitely.
like his weaknesses were like more exposed in the early games if you break it down.
Well, not to mention the number of comebacks he made.
Right.
A rookie year
It was
too.
And it was a sliding scale and it was coming off of a 1-in-15 disaster. When they didn't have Peyton Manning and
They had no quarterbacks on that team. To me it almost felt like the coaches were saying, "Okay, who wants to be the quarterback this week?
Yeah.
Just who? We can just flip a coin." I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
nobody's even trying at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact that he came in like almost everybody's saying, "Oh God, we feel so bad." I mean, there were experts saying, "I feel bad for Andrew Luck. He's gonna have like no offensive line,
Right.
none of this. He's gonna probably have one of the worst statistics in the history of a rookie quarterback. It's having one of the best of a rookie." I mean,
11-5. They were
to me, this shows Peyton Manning can judge talent, which for me
Yeah.
shows you how bad it looks for Johnny Manziel right
Yeah.
now. Because to me, after that holding back on the Manning cap, to me that shows you maybe that Andrew Luck. First of all, how great of a person Andrew Luck is compared to Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
But it also shows you how that Peyton Manning knows talent. Because even Peyton Manning was almost like grooming the Colts, saying, "Hey, let me go." And I know this great young guy you can pick up maybe that can turn around. And 1 year, everybody was complaining, "Oh, Peyton's gone. It's like, Peyton who? Peyton.
Yeah.
I mean, that shows you how good Andrew Luck is. I mean, in 1 year he made him forget about Peyton Manning. And I mean, and no, he didn't really have like the Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre the back of that one time when. I remember it was on SportsCenter. Aaron Rodgers is out there, and you hear these Packer fans going, "We want Brett! We want Brett!"
Yeah.
And it's like poor Aaron Rodgers, and now of course they really could give two shits about Brett Favre now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
Because not only go to the Jets for 1 year, doesn't really work out in the end, and then he goes to the Vikings and
Has a great year when they went 13-3, and then the year after.
Man, it was over. It was over after that. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely Luck. I think will make a stride. Definitely make strides.
I think the division right now. I think the only team they got to worry about is the Texans.
The Texans, yeah.
And you know
obviously.
what? All you got to do is beat that defense because really, at this point, Matt Schaub can't win a game for me.
Yeah.
Which is
they
why
could win the division. They could tie. They could have the same record as the Texans. I could see that and win the division.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no.
It might come down to division records and all that. But
I don't know. Like I said, I definitely, like I said, I there's a reason why I don't have them that high. Because once again, I have seen rookies have great rookie years. And all of a sudden,
then
they just
take a setback. Yeah.
And if it happens this year, it's sad because Luck has more talent this year for the Colts than they did last year.
Right. Yeah. So I think and I think Luck is for real.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, you would talk about a guy that could take a step back. I mean, maybe RG3, without his leg, probably changing his game
brace,
up a little bit.
He has a brace at the brace now, so that's good news for him. Maybe. I don't wish harm on anybody, but that's what's going to come down to is if he can. If like I said, if he's 100% healthy,
Yeah.
great. But if I'm Mike Shanahan, you better not have him
Yeah.
run out of the pocket too much
Yeah.
this year, because it happened to Donovan McNabb, it happened to Michael Vick.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. I mean, it does eventually, but very soon defenses do realize what a guy's doing. So I wish the guy luck. Obviously, they are
Yeah.
the favorites this year, but to me, he's the
In the
difference
division.
maker.
Yeah.
And what Mike Shanahan does to the offense is what's going to
Yeah.
determine whether the Redskins could be a division winner or they're just going to go back to square
Yeah.
one after this.
And they're not. Yeah. And they're. I guess he's not even going to play any preseason games.
Well, no, because
They're not even sure. Yeah. They're.
And like I said,
they weren't even sure about.
and that
having
sets
week
up to
one.
that great Monday Night Football opener
Yeah, with
against
the
the
Eagles.
Eagles. So
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to be interesting there because I'm going to. I
It
mean,
will
I
be.
actually like the fact that it's. Well, first of all, we're not going to probably have a Raw episode that week because
Yeah.
there's no way in hell I'm watching Monday Night
With
Raw
our
at
great
all.
wrestling debate.
Yeah, I'm not watching it at all that week.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even care what match they have on there. It's the Eagles. It's
Yeah.
Monday night. It's against RG3. If we can beat the Redskins, maybe I
Yeah.
might change from fourth place to first place.
Yeah.
But you know,
Definitely be interesting.
but we'll see. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no. But number
But
9.
yeah, so 8, I have Luck.
Yeah, Luck. Yeah. So number 9.
9, I would have Roethlisberger.
Huh.
Again, like you have him at 8. I have him at 9. You know,
Yeah, I
not
mean,
very.
yeah.
Now that part of that is their team's aging. Well, they have been aging, and yeah, I mean, if he can stay healthy
Well, Mike
as
Miller's
well.
not on the team either. I mean, he went to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Of course, he no showed the Hall
Yeah.
of Fame game, so we really don't even know if that even benefits Miami or not.
Yeah. Yeah, if Roethlisberger can stay healthy, I mean, they,
Yeah. Well,
they don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They haven't had the greatest offensive line, and yeah, I mean, there's sort of been a bit of a regression, as you know.
Yeah.
He does throw us, you know, he does sometimes throw some interceptions too, and
Yeah, he does
He
force
can-
it.
he
He
can-
does try to
he
scramble
can
out.
be exposed, yeah. And you know, even with the 2 Super Bowls, and kind of like Eli Manning, it does, in some regards, keep him out of like the top 5
Yeah, definitely.
consistently for some of those reasons. And then
You
10,
what? 10?
10, I would have to go Kaepernick.
Huh.
I mean, again, he's on the 49ers, and he didn't have a full season, but look where they, you know, he got with
Yeah.
the 49ers as it is.
But I don't know.
Sliding scale. You know.
Here's the thing there, though. I mean, to me, just you can't prove it as the Super Bowl, the end. To me,
Yeah.
the Niners play calling blew that game for him at the end there. They
Yeah.
were running the ball with Frank Gore so well, and all of a sudden they said, no. Kaepernick's going to throw this
Yeah.
ball, and Kaepernick had chances. I don't even care what 49 fans said about that interference. My rule is always you never put it in the hands of the officials.
Yeah,
That's my first rule.
and I didn't think that was pass interference.
Well, no. And to me,
Exactly.
it doesn't matter. You never put the game in the hands of the official.
Yeah,
That's just how it is in that. And for me, you know what? It was first and goal. They could have ran to Frank Gore. They might have scored on the second
Yeah.
down, maybe, or even the first down. No, they gave it to Kaepernick. So to me, the 49ers, it shouldn't even have come to fourth and goal in the first place.
Yeah.
And to me, Kaepernick proved why if he would have threw it,
yeah,
it would have been clutch. And keep in mind, he had a horrible
Yeah.
first half in that game. And to me, I still think that would have been a lopsided Super Bowl if the lights not go out and Miami and you know the Ravens started maybe losing that momentum a little bit, you know, because they had to sit around a lot.
Yeah.
I see Joe Flacco sitting around,
was
and he almost has a
interesting.
look in his face. I'm like, I really want to just go out there because I really think I'm
Yeah.
going to lose whatever magic I have right now.
Yeah.
And he kind of did in the second half.
Well,
here's-
Flacco, I remember, still was pretty good.
Yeah, but what were the Niners doing though? They were getting
were-
composed now. They
they were.
realized, okay, we're not dead yet. We have a chance to get composed.
Yeah.
If the lights not go out, that game would have been over.
The
period.
defense,
The-
yeah.
The momentum was killed.
the
Kaepernick
defense was
done-
really
yeah.
falling apart. On the
Kaepernick
Ravens'
was
part.
having a horrible first half. I
Yeah.
mean, if he would have made this comeback though, if he would
Yeah.
have threw that touchdown,
It would've
maybe
said
top
more.
10 then for me.
Yeah.
But for me,
You
for
could have
me,
him
he can
quarter-
run. He can do the read option well. But so can a lot of other
He's
quarterbacks.
gonna have
To me though, he's got to prove me in the air
Yeah.
though. He can't just
And I
keep
th-
running it
I
out of the
think-
pocket.
Yeah. But I think looking in the future too. Now, last year, you know, he was just kind of like, you know, they just made a decision. We're gonna put Kaepernick in instead of Alex Smith, and
Which turned to be the right move. I
was
think.
pretty-
I think.
yeah, it did.
I think Kaepernick's a better quarterback than Alex Smith. I'll just
Yeah.
say that right now.
yeah,
Which is why I feel bad for Andy Reid in Kansas City because I really think
Right.
they have this moneymaker of a quarterback down there. And
yeah. He's
I think-
he's a game manager, but
to me, I think Smith might turn the Byron Leftwich, where he just starts eventually. He goes from this franchise
Yeah.
quarterback, and all of a sudden it just because he's been so inconsistent, and
Yeah.
he has these great games and then bad games. Next thing you know, he starts, and all of a sudden he's not only
Yeah.
starting quarterback. He's just barely trying to make a roster then.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But yeah, with a full off season, I think Kaepernick can come in better, and I mean I'm sure he was kind of nervous heading into the Super Bowl and everything, and I mean I think now that he has that under his belt, looking in the future, I think he can improve. I mean
like I said, well, I'm probably gonna tell you right now what I have. I actually do have the 49ers right now winning the Super Bowl.
I mean
I
it's gonna be an
got asked that
interesting
question on Facebook by somebody, and I kind of had to think for a
season.
while.
And a lot of people would probably agree.
And I kind of have Denver. I really do think Payne's gonna Denver's
a
gonna come back.
favorite.
I think it's gonna be Denver and San Francisco.
Yeah,
And I have San Francisco winning because
it'll be.
I just think that when they face, I just think Peyton Manning's gonna not be able to handle this 49er offense right now. That being said, I could be dead wrong here. Kaepernick could get hurt week 1. The defense could have an injury bug.
Who knows about the Packers if their defense improves?
I mean,
Yeah.
right now, like I said, and like I said, if the 49ers win, Kaepernick makes them not in the top 10. I'll put him probably at number 6 then.
Yeah,
to me,
he'll definitely move.
Because to me, then they definitely jumped ahead of Andrew Luck, then Dalton, Osberger. Flacco has another great year. He might get the top 5 next year for me.
Yeah,
But,
and then to me, it's a sliding scale too.
Yeah.
It's definitely for me taking a lot of, what happened most recently that we have to work with, and then projecting, with the future, what they may do in the future. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't have a whole lot to do with, 5 years ago and
I mean,
the
and there's
resume.
probably some people asking us,
But,
why don't you
yeah.
have one? None of us have RG3 in here, and for me,
yeah.
it's that injury.
Part of projection, yeah, and it's projection.
I don't know if he's gonna come back, and I know he's gonna have the same performance that they did in the first year. And you can say the same about Andrew
And
Luck
look
too.
and-
But I just think
yeah.
Luck's in better shape, maybe because he stayed healthy
Yeah.
throughout the first year. Well, while Griffin's still nursing an injury, I think he will. And I still think the Redskins probably will win the division this year. But that's why I don't have RG3 in here, because I don't know if he's going to be able to stay healthy.
Yeah. And look what the Seahawks kind of did to him in the playoffs anyway, as it is.
Well, that's why
So-
some people that's said, and that's what I was really debating about. Okay, everybody's big favorites in the NFC are Seattle and San Francisco, and both reasons it's because of their defenses.
Yeah.
Now, I might say Russell Wilson. Once again, I get it. Russell Wilson had kind of, he was the rookie that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He was a 3rd-round draft
Right.
pick. He's kind of what I'm hoping Matt Leinart might turn into this year. Everybody's talking Foles, Vic right now. I really think Leinart could come out of nowhere, maybe and just pass both of them. But we won't see until probably the preseason game. But no, my reason for Russell Wilson is, like I said, I just don't know if he can have another great year.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks will do well because of that defense, but
And they got.
But there were times in the playoffs when I
top
felt
5
like,
running back.
I mean,
too.
for me, the Redskins would have beat the Seahawks if
Yeah.
RG3 did not get hurt.
Right.
That just
That
the whole
did.
momentum. The crowd was dead.
Yeah.
For me that's what turned it around. And that's when. And Russell Wilson, once again, if it wasn't for the Falcons' defense choking and almost giving up a Seattle win, Wilson did not have a great game against Atlanta. He didn't have a great game. To me, once again, the defense saved it, and the fact that the Falcons, I think, just choked on defense again, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it comes to the playoffs, that's when you're playing the best teams, and the playoffs definitely for me factor, into it as well. Like when a guy like Joe Flacco has an impressive run as he did in the playoffs, the most recent playoffs we have to work with that factors into this season. And and Kaepernick,
Yes, but
choking in the Super Bowl maybe a little bit.
But Russell Wilson, to me, it makes sense. Once again, does well this year,
Right.
fine, top 10 next year easily.
Yeah.
But he's one of those guys that much of RG3, I don't know that he
Right.
can pull it off.
The guys in the the guys that are in the top 5, Roger, they have a reputation because you know what they're gonna. We know what they are. RG3, it was kind of 1 year. You don't totally know yet.
So
Could have him 11 or 12, but maybe.
Tyler, I guess one thing to get me asked is, how about a player that everybody thinks is going to do bad, the quarterback's going to do bad this year, but actually have very, maybe not a great season, but have a decent season?
I'm trying to think and go through all the teams.
For me, this might be because I kind of friends with Mike Jacoby, who's a massive Tampa Bay Bucks fan.
Yeah,
Josh Freeman.
yeah, that's
He's
true.
had those moments,
Yeah.
And he's kind of, for a lot of people, kind of think that if he doesn't have any more moments, he's kind of dead as the franchise quarterback. For me, I don't think the Bucks gonna make the playoffs. I really don't. In fact, I think they'll be lucky to get 6 wins this year, unless they had 7 wins.
People I think are
But
overhyping that.
I think if Josh Freeman though can play decent like he has in
Yeah.
some games, I think he can have a great season. Maybe not a great season, a decent
good
season.
Yeah.
I mean, so who would? I mean, like I said,
I could. Yeah. I mean, maybe Josh Freeman. I
I
can't.
mean, somebody said about Cam Newton too, but
Yeah.
for me, I'm still waiting for him to have that moment,
yeah.
and he hasn't had that yet with the Panthers. And
Yeah.
I think Josh Freeman has a better roster to work with, which is why if Cam
Yeah.
Newton has a better season than Josh Freeman, and definitely Cam Newton has definitely shocked everybody then. But
Yeah.
I don't want to give it to Cam yet. Romo, I just don't trust.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Eagles fan.
Year after
I'm not.
year.
I
Yeah.
just
Realistically,
he hasn't
to
proven
me,
himself
yeah.
to me yet. And Bill can follow the stats he had. Okay, fine, but he hasn't won games.
Right.
To me, it feels like when he gets put in clutch situations, he can't deliver.
Right. And
I mean, if
yeah.
you go over the AFC, I mean, Ryan Tannehill. I know I keep saying the Dolphins might have a shot. I didn't see it.
Not yet. Yeah.
I didn't see it in the Hall of Fame game. I didn't see Ryan Tannehill have that
They
breakout
got
moment.
Dion.
If anything,
Jordan
Matt
or
Moore had a
whatever.
better game than Tannehill did. I mean, Moore played a lot of snaps in that game, and when he was in it, he almost brought the
Yeah.
Dolphins back in that game. Pretty much, it was a preseason game.
Yeah.
It gets the second string of the Cowboys defense,
Right.
which still was beating the Dolphins offense
Yeah.
up and down the field. But no, I definitely go. I mean, Tannehill I would go with. I mean, at this point, Jacksonville. I think you could just flip a coin for Jacksonville.
Yeah. Coming off another 2-14 year.
Yeah, or 0-16. I actually can see them not winning one game this year.
Yeah. I mean,
The only good play
have
they
to
have is
check their schedule, but
the only thing they're gonna do is Tyler they're gonna keep giving it to Maurice Jones Drew. That's it.
he won't
That's
be
it.
around
He
forever
wants
though.
he wants the exactly. And honestly, if I was him, I would have got out of Jacksonville because really
Yeah.
they haven't really improved that team one bit.
Yeah.
So
They did change up the uniforms. Interestingly.
the uniforms look nice,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, he's going to bring
Yeah.
in the fans
So
and
kind of represent a change
and can
there.
new uniforms. To be fair, he worked with the Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
They became the Tennessee Titans first year they went into the Super Bowl
Right.
and lost by a yard. No, was it an inch or a yard?
It was like it was like a yard.
Yeah, a yard.
If you look at the footage of the play,
Yeah.
it's not quite an
Oh,
inch,
man.
but
I don't know.
it was close. That's the
my
bottom
God.
line.
Yeah, I tell you what, I really do miss Steve McNair to bring that moment.
Yeah.
That was his
That was
only shot at winning a Super Bowl
Yeah.
before he died, pretty much.
Yeah.
After that, he was never the same. That was his best team right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean it worked for Houston. They were the Houston Oilers only a year ago. Next thing you know, we're the Tennessee Titans now, and next
Yeah.
thing you know, Super Bowl first year, and they lose to Dick Vermeil, who my dad was cheering for, because he thought he should have won at least one Super Bowl with the Eagles. Didn't happen, but my dad was definitely happy for Dick Vermeil. That me, I was disappointed because I really thought it would be impressive for an expansion team. Granted, an expansion team that just took an old franchise
Yeah.
and took it wasn't like they were a true expansion team that had a bunch of no-namers or anything.
No-namers.
They just took the Houston Oilers and it just you're in Tennessee
Yeah.
now pretty much.
Now we have 32 teams.
Yep.
So yeah. If you're listening, what's your top 10 quarterbacks? Post a comment or
Yep.
whatever.
And,
It's a good discussion
yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
so next week me and Tyler will I'll be on the Sports Talk again
For
because
here on the
we're gonna do our
We do our
our
back-
thoughts on the first preseason game this
Yeah.
Friday between the Patriots and the Eagles, and
yeah.
hopefully we see some stuff that impresses us. Obviously, it's been a heartbreaking year so far for the Eagles as far as the offseason
Yeah.
stuff goes. I know Riley Cooper's gonna be playing, so
Yeah, which
for me-
out of nowhere.
for me he better
Makes
be
it
playing
interesting.
well because after all the crap he's been doing,
Yeah.
his job might be on the line pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, at least here in Philadelphia.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, we had to see Vic play. Hopefully he can play decent. And, hell, I mean, I think the fact they're facing the Patriots, because this is their first game, too, after the whole Aaron
Yeah.
Hernandez deal. And you
Right.
can see Tom Brady. And, hell, maybe Tim Tebow might come in and get a few snaps.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
So,
So yeah, stay tuned. So yeah, just stay tuned for whatever we got here with the sports and of course the
Wrestling.
great wrestling debate. If
Yep.
you happen to be a wrestling fan, Although I understand not everybody who's a football
Fan's
fan
a wrestling fan.
or or sports fan is not. But yeah, you
Yep.
get the point.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in as always.
Yep.
And just continue to stay tuned.